Yes, hello today. Look, we are free. Cell is about to unleash what I would like to call a cleansing. The end of them little shits. Let's cue the intro. Welcome to my channel where cringy intros are cringy. Alright, so today we're going to be covering the Perfect Being. This is going to feature Cell. He is a purple unit, which is frankly really good. This essentially fixes up Androids' issue of not having a good purple, and it also gives regeneration a flexible option as for another unit to use outside of purple Demon King Piccolo. So there is also that. And now that's not to say that Demon King Piccolo is bad or anything. He's actually really good and functions really well on regeneration, especially just any team that wants to continue its combos indefinitely. That's fantastic. However, at the same time, this Cell is very opportunistic. It comes at a time where I could honestly tell you that if you felt like you couldn't pull on this guy or couldn't get him, then Demon King Piccolo is a very solid substitute choice for regeneration, and honestly is probably going to see a lot of play still on regen, even with the Cell coming out, until, people get enough stars on this Cell and feel comfortable with bringing him into PvP, in which case, yeah, we're going to see a dip, and Purple Demon King Piccolo is going to start to just decline into essentially nothingness. So, yeah, there is that to be said. Now, let's talk about, are they worth it? Because I'm sure I've already rambled on for a little bit, and we just need to figure out why you would want to go, spend on this banner, or alternatively otherwise. Well, to make it perfectly frank, if you are a Android player, if you are a regeneration player, if you are a powerful opponent player, then yeah, summon on this guy. It also comes with half-corrupted Zamasu, or Teletubby dude. So yeah, this is a frankly really good banner for what it is, and that is, it also comes with Bojack, Red Bojack, by the way. So, if we actually take a look at the featured characters, without even looking at anything else, because we're going to look at rates too, it comes with half-corrupted Zamasu. Awesome stuff. No one cares. It comes with Legends Limited Piccolo, so if you're a regen player and you're running a blast-focused team, then this Piccolo is an automatic pick. No one cares. No one cares. Bojack, it comes with this dude, and he's a great powerful opponent's solid red unit. In fact, I would say he's the main red unit for powerful opponent at this current time. I could be wrong. However, I'm pretty confident in what I'm saying here, only because this guy is just absolutely nuts. This guy turned out to be quite the menace, and his ability to essentially just always transform because of how his main ability works and how his Awaken card works, it's just insane. And then obviously we have the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan Youth. He's the new Extreme, and then once again a reappearance from our Big Daddy Jiren. So yeah, let's actually now go into this. Let's talk a little bit about Perfect Cell and Gohan. These are the two main focused units we're going to look at, and we're also going to look at rates just to get an idea. So we're going to look at the Z power list. So just before we talk about anything else, let's see how standard or otherwise this is. Yeah, so far everything is standard. And then, yep, everything looks standard. We are pretty much guaranteed to get, specific things. So one second, guys. Let me just put this on Do Not Disturb. There we go. It looks pretty standard. It is an inflated banner, as normal. This is without saying, because that's how this game operates. It operates through lots of, a lot of inflation, followed by, some of the newest units. So if we do get a good animation, then obviously you're going to be guaranteed someone featured. Of course, because there's a decent amount of featured units, no guaranteed featured will guarantee Cell. That's just the unfortunate reality of this situation. Even if you get a Broly animation, the chances are you could get any one of these. Any single one. All right, let's take a look at the step-ups. The steps-wise, step 6, cool. It's the same thing over and over again. Nothing really changes, cool. So let's actually go and see the step list just to get an idea. So yeah, I believe it's going to be the exact same as it's always been, which is 300, 500, 700, 1000, 1000, and wait, 300, 500, 700, 1000, 1000, and then free. If you know, they're keeping it like that. Yeah, free. Okay, cool. So give us coins, nice, and give us all this stuff. Cool, 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 cool. So let's actually talk about now their kits real quick. So let's actually go into it real fast. And let's see what we got. So in terms of stats, at 3 stars, he's rocking... I mean, for a Legends Limited character, he's rocking stats that... fair. They're fair. Legends Limited characters, generally speaking, have, I would say, average stats, if not below average stats. And that's because their kits are what carries them and not so much their stats. Now, that's not to say that, you know, back in the day, they didn't have inflated stats. They did. It's just that Zenkai's kind of changed the scope of the game in terms of stats. And as a result, you really can't compare them on that until, you know, you max star these guys. Because if you do that, then that's like, let's take a look. Then yeah, he's rocking stats that are similar to that of Purple Fusion Zamasu. That's literally what he's rocking in terms of stats. And I can tell you this right now. That's more than enough, especially since Legends Limited characters' kits tend to be much more busted than your average unit. And that's not to say, like, it is on purpose. Anyways, let's just discuss now the actual kit and what he has to offer, because that's really what we're going to use to decide if this is any good. All right, so first off, let's take a look at the blue card. Deals massive impact damage, okay, and blast armor. Cool. Any blast armor? No. Cool. Hell Driver, blast armor, okay. So increases zone unique gauge by 30%, and then restores zone vanish gauge by 70%, reduces ki by 70, and then blast armor when charging forward. Cool. Then we got the Solar Kamehameha. So deals supreme impact damage. Cool, 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 cool. So if you're seeing the word supreme, it means that it's actually doing more damage than what regular impact damage would do. 30% ultimate damage inflicted for 3 timer counts. Cool. When activated, I'm assuming, or just general. Yeah, upon activation. Cool. Nullifies enemies restore health when it reaches a 0 effects when this character attacks for 3 timer counts. Cool. And blast armor when charging forward. Awesome. So it's all your standard stuff for a ult these days. Just deals lots of damage and kills off anything with endurance. Awesome. Let's look at the main ability. So obviously it's going to draw you the ultimate card. It's going to restore your own health by 30% and ki by 30. Applies attribute upgrade minus 50% to enemy sustained damage cut effects to self for 20 timer counts. So essentially anything that would reduce how much damage they take, well, he's going to ignore a good portion of that. So that's nice. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 80% to health restoration for 40 timer counts. This is a great indicator that he is also a fantastic counter to teams that like to heal a lot. So teams like GT, they're going to get hurt by this. Teams like Regen, hurt by this. Powerful opponent, hurt by this. Whatchamacallit? What's their faces? Hybrids, they'll be hurt by this. If I said Regen or Androids, they'll be hurt by this. Literally any team that can heal, even Saiyans, will be hurt by this. So this unit is all around just... He's nutty. He's nutty already, and that's just the main ability. All right, so Z ability, he powers up Regen and Android, strike, attack, and defense. Cool. And then at 6, also powerful opponent. Yeah. There's not much to say about this so far other than, like, he's exactly what I thought he'd be. A lot of people suspected he'd be blue, but purple is actually probably the best outcome for literally anyone that runs androids. And even for Regen, it's also a great thing for strike users. Essentially, strike-based Regen users. Rejoice, you have a melee type, finally. Whereas before, you were kind of stuck with Purple Demon King Piccolo, which is not a bad thing. It's just, you know, this guy is obviously going to overtake him eventually. It's just a matter of time, realistically. All right, let's take a look at life or death battle. So we got 30% to damage inflicted against tag hybrid Saiyans, cannot be canceled. And also 20% to damage inflicted against tag hybrid and Saiyans, cannot be canceled. Cool. So he hates hybrids and Saiyans. I couldn't ask for anything more than that. The fact that this guy's coming out and I know he's going to like shet on a whole bunch of my teams, I don't care because I would rather see the world burn through regen and androids than through hybrids and Saiyans. I just don't care. So yeah. Applies the following effects to self when battle starts. 80% to damage inflicted cannot be cancelled. Cool. And reduces damage received by 40%. Cannot be cancelled. Awesome. -3 to arts cost. Cannot be cancelled. Awesome. Increases arts card draw speed by 1 level. Cannot be cancelled. Okay, that is... He's got built-in card draw speed. He's just insane so far. Like, his kit is actually insane. So if we take a look at his costs, it's actually 16, 26, yeah, -3 to arts costs, just all of them. Okay. Yeah, that's that he's got some good quality arts costs. I'm just gonna be quite frank. It's high quality. The only thing that's lower quality is blast, and even then, it's not bad. Just because, you know, the built-in -3 really helps. And probably that's why they left it at 29 instead of giving him, like, I don't know, something else to make it 24 or 23 or something like that. All right, let's take a look at what we got. So every time he faces an enemy, he restores ki by 30 plus 10% to damage inflicted for timer counts. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade plus 15 to special move and special arts cost for 10 timer counts. Okay. While this character is on the battlefield, applies the following effects to enemy when it causing a character with a revives when health reaches 0 effective revive. Reduces enemies' Dragon Balls by 4. That's just amazing. You essentially could just completely deny any hybrid team their chance to use their Rising Rush. You could, like, again, this is all hypothetical. This is assuming that you are taking priority, or at least you are taking enough priority that when his effect is relevant, it becomes relevant. So as a result, this could actually potentially never let your opponent use their Rising Rush against you. That's not to say that's going to actually happen realistically, but it gives you the opportunity to actually do that. He also reduces ki by 100 because, you know, -4 Dragon Balls wasn't enough. And then inflicts attribute downgrade minus 150% to ki recovery for 3 timer. Holy, okay, so basically what I'm seeing here is pretty much an almost complete denial of ki. Your opponent will literally not be able to get any ki unless they have inbuilt effects to give them ki for the 3 timer counts that has been applied. And that's assuming that what I'm thinking is correct, that it's really just saying for ki recovery versus, you know, just establishing ki through an effect. So any passive effect that would give you ki for whatever reason, you'll get ki. But anything in regards to charging 3 timer counts, you're just getting nothing. You're literally getting nothing, if anything. And I wonder how much ki you get when you actually start pressing down to charge. So we'll see. But essentially, under the assumption that you are, like, winning in terms of priority, or at least you've just accidentally, or maybe your opponent had no choice and they had to give you their revive unit and you've broke it, you now have major priority. So unless they have an RR, which they don't, so, or they have a main ability ready to counter or to fight back, you're literally going to take further priority. Yeah, this is an amazing unit already, and we haven't even gotten down to Ultimate Supreme Life Form. So let's talk about it. All right, so nullifies abnormal condition paralyzed, cannot be canceled. So anyone that wants to use Hercule or any other unit like Majub or whatever to paralyze things, or even Goten, yeah, no, absolutely not. So this guy, he just doesn't care. He's just like, nope. Applies the following effects to enemy when changing cover. Okay, applies the following effects to enemy when changing cover. Now, this is what's confusing me, but I believe it's when he changes cover. He cover changes. He destroys 1 card. So when cell cover changes, you destroy 1 card. And then reduce Dragon Balls by 1 activates twice. Alternatively, what this is actually saying is when the opponent cover changes, you activate this skill. Now, I'm sure this actually makes sense, but I'm tired, so I can't really figure it out. Like, I'm reading it over and over again, but I still can't figure out what it's actually trying to tell me. So as a result, I'm just going to assume it could be either or, as in not that it is either or, that it's one of the two, and I just can't figure out which one. I believe, personally speaking, that this is when you are cover changing and not when your opponent cover changes. Because imagine how broken that would be. the constant destroying of cards, potentially, and then 2 times you're removing Dragon Balls. That's insane. So, as a result, I strongly believe that this is when heat cover changes. Because I don't think the game devs want this to be that abused, essentially. Alright. Knockbacks enemy to long range if a cover change is performed against their Blast Arts attack. Activates during assists as well. Okay, so we got combo arts, which is your special arts and special move arts. So if you're not aware what that means, it means special arts, green card, special move arts, blue card. I like to call them green and blue because special arts, special move arts, that's just lengthy, wordy. Why don't you just say blue? It's that simple. Okay, when this character is on the battlefield, restores unique gadget according to key charge time, applies the following effects to self once unique gadget is full, activates once, restores health by 20%, cool. 50% damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled, awesome. Reduces damage received by 15%, cannot be cancelled, awesome. -3 to arts costs, so -6. Holy shit, that's really good. And then plus 50% to ultimate damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled. To say that this is the unit that androids were missing would be like a massive understatement. This is exactly what they needed. They needed a unit that could literally take them from the brink of like non-existence. And I'm not saying that they were non-existent in the top 100 because they still are somewhat thriving in the top 1K / top 100. However, this is definitely going to revitalize the team, and we're going to see a lot more androids from this point on. We're also going to see a lot of regeneration from this point on. And powerful opponents, even though they've been doing fantastic so far in terms of like becoming an actual legitimate threat, this further cements them in the fact that Perfect Cell is exactly what a lot of those teams needed. They just needed a solid purple. Now, for powerful opponent, I'm not entirely sure what purple unit they were using in the first place because I'm not really following them very closely, but I'm pretty sure that if they were using anything, they're probably going to want this unit anyways. So, yeah. But in regards to regen and for androids, this is a definite pick. Especially for anyone that's a whale or anyone that can get this guy to 6 stars or higher. He's a definitive pick. Like, there's no argument. This guy is the guy that you're going to pick. And I think the only situation where you might argue against him, maybe, is if you were playing a blast-based regeneration team and you really, really want a specific card setup in your hand, in which case you probably go for Demon King Piccolo. Fair enough, the purple one, of course. So as a result, like, I think under certain arguments, yeah, this guy, you might be able to skip him. But overall, like, he's fantastic. So if you play regeneration, if you play powerful opponent, or if you play androids, this is a definitive banner for you to pick on. Like, you should pull. You just should pull. If you're not playing one of those 3 teams, please don't pull on this banner. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, I don't know what else to tell you other than that. All right, let's talk now about this Gohan, because I've spent a lot of time. So we're going to kind of skim through him. Also, if you want to know what I think about Cell in regards to Tournament of Power, I think he's actually a solid unit. Is he like the most game-breaking Tournament of Power character? No. He's probably much better for PvP, honestly. But in terms of what he can do, he's got 30% to gauge recovery for his special move. So as a result, he will be able to throw his blue card a lot sooner than a lot of other units. He's kind of reminiscent to the top Android 18 blue one, Tournament of Power, like, actually. So yeah, just heads up, FYI. All right, let's talk about this kid, because he's quite interesting. Let me just see his max stats so I can just see what he's looking at. Overall, he's solid for an extreme character, but I digress. We'll have to actually take a look and see what he's actually got for us. So for a hybrid character, personally speaking, I wouldn't really go for this guy in either teams that he can cover, Hybrid Saiyan or Sunfam. I truly don't believe that anyone's gonna have a mind to actually run him. Now, for like some memes for cucking people, absolutely, I totally see that. But in regards to like this unit just in general, not really. I don't see it. I really don't. You've got on Sun Family Nameku, Zenkai 7 Nameku. Who's gonna run this kid over that? And then in regards to hybrid Saiyans, you've got Trunks, the Zenkai 7 Trunks. You've also got Zenkai 7 Super Saiyan Gohan. I feel like the only situation where you would run this unit over either of those two, realistically, at least at this current time, is if you are trying to make a Gohan-specific blast-based team. Only scenario. It's the only scenario I can see it. Now let's actually just talk about his main ability and his unique abilities, because I feel like they're worth mentioning. So he's got some nifty toolkit, so let's not write him off as like garbage. He's not. But he isn't exactly what I would say as someone that you're gonna like really go after, because yeah, it's more like, okay, cool, I have him, let's try him out and see how he works. And you know, maybe he'll surprise us all and actually be much better than I'm giving him credit for. But you know, at least at first glance, thinking about what units we have to offer, he doesn't really exactly seem like someone that we would actually want to use. All right, let's take a look. So we draw a special move arts card, so a blue card next. Cool. Restores own ki by 50. Cool. Restores own vanishing gauge by 100%. 20% to blast damage inflicted for 20 timer counts, and 80% for the next special move damage inflicted. 10 timer counts must relapse. Okay, overall, for a main ability, solid. Just solid. Like, the ability to dodge twice, solid. It's good to not be able to be caught. This is a nifty main ability to have. Definitely could come in handy, like, greatly. And also, it's a very good, like, quick kill if you've set up properly. And it's especially a quick kill if you're a whale. And you have this right setup and equips and right Z abilities, this could actually kill. Like, I could see a lot of units just getting dunked by this one setup. Just one bad sidestep and one neatly timed blue card, and it could be GG for that unit. So, yeah, just, you know, keeping in mind, of course, this is a very specific scenario, so the likelihood of that actually being the case, not so likely, but you never know. All right, let's take a look now at the Unleashed Strength. So applies the following stuff when this character enters the battlefield. So increase damage by 50%, reduces damage by 30%, nullifies attribute downgrades for 10 timer counts, and also plus 50% to own ki recovery for 5 timer counts when ki is 50 or lower after using an arts card. Okay. I mean, the first part's great. The second part, it's okay. It's not bad. It's nice that it's there. So yeah, I can't complain. Overall, solid. Can be reapplied if you get like if the timer counts go away, or alternatively you get completely wiped clean because of a buff like reset. It's solid. It's nice that it's each time he comes to the battlefield, so that's solid. All right, then Unshakable Will. So applying the following effects to self according to the number of remaining enemy battle members when this unit enters the battlefield. So 3 battle members. He increases damage by 60% to blast damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. Okay. 2, he reduces damage, and then 1, he reduces damage even further. Overall, confused about this. I don't get it. Why are we reducing damage when the battle members go down? I would have assumed it would have been 60, 70, 80. As in 60 when there's 3, 70 when there's 2, 80 when there's 1. I mean, that confuses me. It really does. It really does. Yeah, I don't get it. Personally, it doesn't make sense to me, but, you know, it is what it is. I honestly feel like this is kind of cucky, because as soon as you kill one and all of a sudden you're trying to kill another, you've already lost 30% to your applied. So this is kind of insane. And then, obviously, we have the last ability, which is restores ally health by 15% when this character is defeated, which is a nice, nifty little tidbit. However, almost completely negligible, just due to the fact that that purple cell exists and could potentially just completely nullify this almost entirely. So, yeah. Overall, he's an interesting extreme character. I don't think he's bad. I think he's actually really good. It's just that I don't see him actually having any teams that he can be used on, and that is what's really hurting him more so than anything else. So overall, guys, that's the video. Is this worth it? I honestly think, yes, it is worth it. Something is happening in terms of error codes. I lost all Wi-Fi. That's probably what just happened. That's why this is happening. So with that being said, guys, that's the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't hesitate to tickle the like button if you haven't already subscribed, and click the bell for more notifications so you never miss another one of my videos. Have yourselves a salty day, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you had a time, Phil G. Phil G.